Turn up your wallet. Buy E470. Use E470, and you'll get to the airport with time to spare. By Ford Fusion, it's the 2010 Motor Trend Car of the Year. Ford Fusion, drive one. And by Brakes Plus, a whole lot more. And the first pitch of the ball game was low, ball one. It's brought to you by Domino's Pizza. That pitch is just off the plate, 2-0. Text keyword pizza followed by a space in your name to 95323 to receive your Domino's special offer and to be entered to win a pizza party for 12. Trent Olchin's leading off for LA, and Chassin misses there. It's 3-0.
Well, you wonder what the first two calls might have affected him a little bit. They seem to be pretty close in the strike zone. Olchin took those pitches. You see his numbers on the year, 3 runs yet to get an RBI.
And Chassin on 4 pitches walks Olchin. Rest of the Dodger lineup, Brian Terrio is in the 2-hole once again. James Loney will bat third. Andre Ethier's out of the lineup. Matt Campbell bat cleanup. Russ Mitchell getting a start at third base. Reed Johnson's out in right field. A.J. Ellis continues to swing the bat well, particularly in September. And Ching Lung Hu is getting a start at shortstop for Rafael Furcal.
Well, it's that time when a couple of teams get out of their divisional races that are not a part of it anymore. And Joe Torre, we mentioned it in the opener, Drew did, that Monasterio will be the starter today because Kershaw's number of innings, 204 1/3 on the year to shut the young left-hander down. It's meaningless games for them other than for Joe Torre to try to at least even his record up. As the Dodger manager, he says goodbye to the LA uniform.
There's one and there's two. Nice turn by Jonathan Herrera with Olchin bearing down on him. That's a very nice turn. Started by Tulowitzki.
Well, the thing about it, the key to being able to make this turn, because you got decent speed at first, is how hard the throw comes from Tulowitzki and the accuracy so you can use your footwork to avoid a lot of contact. And then it's all about the exchange.
Defensively, Gonzalez, Fowler, and Spilborg. Stewart getting his first start since August 25th. Tulowitzki and Herrera help Miguel Olivo behind the plate. Miguel did not play in the last 2 ball games. Got his bell rung a little bit in a little collision with Troy Tulowitzki on Sunday.
180 double plays now. That leads the National League. The Rockies.
Strike one on James Loney. Hit a home run last night. It's 10th of the season. Did he go? No swing. They check it out at third with Bill Hahn. We're so fortunate to live in such a gorgeous state, and typically we have, as we all know, great weather. George, I can't tell you the last time I saw a cloud.
Yeah, it's so nice here. The last couple of day games we've had have been beautiful. The night games, the stars have been out. It's been a neat way to watch baseball.
Yeah, the temperature in the 80s in the evening the last couple of days. That pitch is yanked foul. One and two. You know, it reminds me, as Todd Helton tossed that errant baseball, the foul ball, back into the stands to a fan. I'm so glad that baseball went to that after the last work stoppage more than a decade ago, George. And I think it's a real treat now. Fans who get seats that are close by, whether it's in the outfield or in the field box or whatever, they become accustomed to a player flipping the balls. That's great.
And fans may not know this, but in years past prior to that, it was a $50 fine to throw a ball up into the stands. And I actually had a guy sitting watching it, calculating, and you get a bill. So it was guys were reluctant. Even during batting practice, they'd have the owners that have different people watching to see who was throwing balls into the stands. So yeah, it is a neat part of the game that you're allowed to be able to do that now.
2 outs, nobody on, and the 2-2 pitch to James Loney. He's got it. Boy, that was filthy, as they say in the game of baseball. A strikeout for Chassin, and it turns into a 1-2-3 inning despite the early walk to Trent Olchin. See the Rockies on offense when we come back. last night. Single, triple, and a 2-run home run. The 2-run home run in the 7th tied the ball game briefly at 6. He'll be followed by Jonathan Herrera. Carr goes in the 3-hole. Then Troy Tulowitzki, Todd Helton, Ryan Spilborghs, Ian Stewart, again making his first start in more than a month. Miguel Olivo about 8th, and Yolis Chassin. Monasterios has a good arm. He's getting the emergency start. He has started 12 other ball games this year, and decent numbers.
Pitched in 31 ball games.
This ball hit high in the air to left center field.
Pretty windy day, of course, too. That may play havoc a little bit with some of the balls in the outfield. 2-5 and 48 2/3 as a starter.
Jonathan Herrera will approach. Trent Olchin's out in left. Matt Kemp in center. Reed Johnson in right. Johnson's a good outfielder. Russ Mitchell, Chin Lung Hu on the left side. Ryan Theriot, James Loney on the right side, and A.J. Ellis. Everyday A.J. behind the plate.
It's going to kind of looking that way now, and has played himself into a very nice role with this ball club. More than likely the backup to Russell Martin next year.
Do you know who's working in AAA or did work in AAA this year for the Dodgers? We got to see him in spring training. Rockies fans, I'm sure, will remember the name J.D. Klosser.
Oh, yeah, Klosser was with him?
Yep.
Thought you were going to say Danny Arguin.
I think Danny, Danny was with the Dodgers for a couple of years, and I'm pretty sure Danny went home to Louisiana. We'll double check that, but I'm pretty sure he retired.
League batting average against Monasterio is 278. He's given up 14 home runs. Out on the road, struggled to 2-2 and earned run average over 5.
Rockies had 10 hits last night, but they allowed 14 as they fell 9-7.
Long ball bit them, late runs, really stingers. You fight to get it even and then give up a run, and then another one in the ninth. Makes that hill a little harder to climb.
And this is a ground ball to third. Russ Mitchell throws out Herrera. 2 outs. When the Rockies do as they did last night, score 7 or more, make your way to Taco Bell the following day inside the state. Get there between 4 and 6, and you will receive a Rockies Tacos special. Go after the ball game today on the way home. Carlos Gonzalez, 341 average beginning the day, 34 home runs, 117 driven in. And that pitch off the plate. Tied for the league lead in RBIs with Pujols at 117. That's inside, 2-0.
Did you know Mark Monasterio was the guy that was with the New York Mets? So he signed with the Yankees originally, went over to the Mets, and then was traded December of last year for cash. So it kind of tells you maybe the Mets had given up on him, that they were going to have to take him off the 40-man roster. Made a transaction, and Dodgers thinking maybe we got a right-handed arm. It's been around a while and hadn't pitched above the Double-A level. In the minor leagues, he was 23 and 30 as a starter and reliever.
Long haul emergency start type guy.
Yep.
Here's the 2-1. And that's a pop-up. And there's that wind you were talking about. Handled by who? 1, 2, 3 innings. off will be Matt Kemp, playing in his 201st consecutive game, which is the longest active streak in baseball. Kemp's had, by his standards, a subpar year. He did hit a home run yesterday, 248 average, and he fouls this off. So Doug did a little math for us. Doug Marino, who has handled our stats and research up here for a number of years. And he has concluded that Matt Kemp, if he doesn't miss another day, will catch Cal Ripken on the second to last day of the 2025 season. Game 161.
I'm betting on Cal. Sorry. I'm going to bet on Cal.
It just goes to show you. I mean, he's got the longest stretch going in baseball.
Who had it before this year? It was
Miguel Tejada.
Tejada.
Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed. So Kemp, if he keeps on trucking along, in 15 years, will catch Ripken. Unreal. All right, let's check in with Mark Stout for today's Great Colorado Payback Sideline Report. You love that kind of stuff, Mark.
I do. I'm going to mark that down on my calendar. That's great work by Doug. You've been talking about Clayton Kershaw not making the start. He has got a big offseason plan. I spoke to him a couple of days ago. Getting married on December the 4th, as this is hit to center and Dexter's there, to his longtime girlfriend, Ellen. They've been dating since they were freshmen in high school in suburban Texas. Now, he's only 22. Guy's got the 8th lowest ERA in the National League, but they're going to get married, 4 days in Mexico. Then he comes back, and he's got a baseball camp called Playing for a Cause that raises money and awareness for orphans in Africa. And then on December the 30th, he and Ellen will travel to Zambia in Africa. They're going to build some schools for orphans there, and that's what he has. And he said, the next thing you know, I'm going to be at camp with the Dodgers. So big offseason for Clayton Kershaw, not making the start today, guys.
You know, two thoughts on that. I'll do the second thought first, and that is, you know, his long-time, he's 22. You can't have a long-time girlfriend when you're 22.
Well, I mean, that's like 7, 8 years. That's
right.
A long time.
But you know
Longer
what?
than any girlfriend ever kept me around.
Yeah, well, they were smart.
Without saying I do or something.
Yeah, they were smart. Now, the first thing I wanted to point out, good for that young man. What a kid that's
pretty grounded.
Exactly. Grounded. He and his girlfriend thinking way beyond themselves. Doing great work. Global young man. Good for him. Good inning for that young man. Chassin, 1-2-3 again. Off time for the Breaks Plus Take a Break poll of the game. It's Shocktober, by the way. Buy 2, get 2 Monroe Shocks and Struts free. Valid through the 31st of October, which is Halloween. Which team would you rather see win the West? Would you rather see the Padres, or would you rather see the Giants? Rocks 1 for Padres, Rocks 2 for Giants.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I'd kind of like to see the Giants. The only reason I say that, I think that they have a better chance to go further and represent the West because of their starting rotation.
You know what?
I'm not just talking about representation of the National League West. I just think they have a better chance with their rotation.
That ball's fouled off. It's not the Rockies, so I'm not going to worry about it.
Well, that's true. Most RBIs out of the 4-hole. Who do you think has it in all of Major League Baseball? New York Yankees, 151. Then Detroit with 134. Cabrera's out.
Cabrera.
125 in Texas, Josh Hamilton. And then the Rockies with 122 out of the 4-hole. They're fourth in all of baseball.
And their primary cleanup hitter, the guy who's up there right now, missed more than a month of baseball games.
He's got 95 of the 122.
Yeah, he has slumped a little bit here, as has the team the second half of September. But I believe, and he finished 5th last year, Tulowitzki's still going to finish in the top 5 or 6 in the National League MVP vote.
Well, yeah, I would agree.
Rockies will have 2 players in the top half dozen. I think it's a race between Carlos Gonzalez and Joey Votto, and you probably lean nationally toward Votto. This ball's hit the center field. And it's catch by Kemper. You didn't see the baseball. That was strange. He acted like he had it, and then at the last instant, he covered up his head.
He lost the flight of that baseball when it got about this high. I mean, he just didn't see anything because he took a couple of strides in like, okay, I got this thing right in my hip pocket. And realistically, folks, he probably did. And then as it got elevated above this press box and got up into that upper deck, that's when he lost it. You can look at his eyes right now and see it. I mean, he just turns his head and had a total misread on the baseball and then lost sight of it. And that cost him, but that's all right. Tulowitzki's at third base with a triple.
And that snapped an 0 for 13 slide for Troy. Another triple for the Rockies, 13 more than the Mets, who have the second most triples in the National League. Here's Helton, an RBI opportunity. Todd swung the bat well last night. He had a 2-run home run in the 7th to make it 6-4, and then Fowler tied it up later on in the inning. Todd also had a base hit in the 8th. 2-for-4 night for Helton. And Todd had a 2-for-2 and a walk ball game on Monday against the Dodgers.
He caught one yesterday and against Carroll. He got one right out over the middle of the plate and shot this thing out into the Rockies bullpen. Todd Helton, again, obviously not the season he wished to have, but 8 home runs, 36 RBIs, now looking to get number 37.
And this will get the job done. Reed Johnson out in right will make the catch, and here comes Tulowitzki to the plate. He scores standing up, and Helton has his 37th RBI, and the Rockies have a 1-0 lead. Good at bat from Helton.
Take advantage of other teams' miscues is what you got to do to win baseball games. And they obviously had a big miscue at center when Kemp lost the baseball and allowed Tulowitzki to get third. Then it was Todd Helton's turn to hit the fly ball and hit it deep enough to get Tulowitzki to the house, and he did it.
Here's Ryan Spilborghs. A solid year for Ryan, particularly in the second half. George ends up, I should say ends up, because there's still a few more ball games left, but he's at that 280 mark with 10 home runs. He's driven in 37. And
so very nice job,
outfielder.
Very nice job pinch hitting.
Ryan signed a 2-year contract prior to the start of this year. So he is signed, if you're wondering, for 2011. And he's fooled there out in front. And everybody's shielding their eyes. James Loney will make the catch. James Loney said I got it. Ryan Theriot said I got it. And that just shows you that it's hard to see, because that ball really was very close to Ryan Theriot.
And the wind's just kind of flapping. A minute ago, it was pouring out to left field. Now it's kind of switched and blowing in from center field.
Here's Ian Stewart. He'll get to bunch some at-bats today. It's been a rough month for him with the intercostal strain. That's a group of muscles in your rib cage area, which is it's not uncommon. That and the oblique strain, George, for hitters to get. And can strain the side swing.
They got all those big words, but he just kind of strained his side. He can't play.
Yeah, back in your day, he's got a strained side. He's out.
For me today, I mean, he's got a strained side and he can't play.
Well, I think it sounds far more sophisticated. Intercostal strain. It sounds like you're getting on a boat and going to Catalina Island or something.
Is there an outer costal too?
There may be, but I'm unfamiliar with it. Whenever I hear intercostal, I'm thinking beach. Or is that intercoastal? 2-2 on Stewart. Despite the missed time, 18 home runs, 60 RBIs, 263 average. I'm sure he wants to be more consistent as he looks ahead to goals for 2011. We got off to a fabulous start in early April. That's, I think, what every hitter, George, battles. There's no way you're always going to hit, if you're a 300 hitter, you're not going to go 3 for 10 every 10 at bats. But you try to avoid the 0 for 20s.
Sure you do. Yeah, you don't want to get one of those things that get buried so badly by April, by May 1st that you're going, man, I'm hitting 180. How am I going to get out of this deal?
Rockies get a run. Tulowitzki comes around on a sac fly by Todd Helton. Count today and start saving money on E470. Cardinals over the next 4 days. That series will begin tomorrow night at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. And it will conclude the season on Sunday for both the Rockies and Cardinals. A disappointing conclusion for both clubs. What's the weather going to be like in St. Louis?
Nice.
Oh, I like that.
Nice. Day game 65, 61 on Sunday. Sun shining.
Fall-like temperatures, George. Here's the 0-1, and A.J. Ellis doesn't swing. It's 1-1.
It's one of the prettiest drives. St. Louis down to my mom's house in Springfield. I'll be done that Sunday after the ball game when the season ends, because of all the trees are just starting to change colors, and it is gorgeous through those rolling hills.
Yeah, a lot of farmland through there.
Yes, sir.
1 ball, 1 strike on Ellis. That's outside.
By the way, the next strikeout will set the record for Chacin as rookie's all-time strikeouts. He's tied it right now with Sean Chacon at 134 in the start. So it's one more is going to break it, and he'll set that record.
Man, this is a pop-up. And Helton is going to grab 1 out. Mom's going to come down on Sunday?
Yeah, I'm hoping so. Trying to get her out of the house. 93 years old. Loved coming up and sitting with us in the booth the last time we were in St. Louis. Loved seeing how everything operated with all the replays and had the headset on. She loved all that part of it. And she said,
well, she sat with me most of the game because you kept leaving the booth to go visit. And So where did George go? I said, listen, let's enjoy the peace and quiet. And she said,
right.
she said, I agree. I haven't told you that story.
She raised me that way.
Chin Lung Hu at the plate takes ball 1.
Figure out she kept telling me to go get the eggs from the chicken growing up, but we didn't have any chickens. I couldn't figure out why I had to keep going to get eggs all the time.
Uh-oh. That had a loud sound. Deep left center field, and it was off the wall. Fowler is going to return it to the infield, and it'll be a double for Hu. I tell you, with the wind,
knocked that down. That ball was hit pretty well.
That ball was really hit well. This is a guy that the Dodgers have always been intrigued with. He runs really well. He feels the ball well. He'll surprise you, as you just saw, with his power. But it hasn't materialized yet at the big league level.
No, he hadn't hit at the big league level. Every year he gets called to the big leagues, get opportunity here and there. But you see that kind of Japanese style, just rock everything back, high leg kick set, trying to hold the hands in position. But it's just never clicked here at the big league level. But it clicked on this one pitch from Ellis.
Yeah, he's still fairly young. He's 26. Fourth straight year he's got big league time. 0-1 on Monasterios. That's all for Monasterios' at bat. That is strikeout number 4 and a new Rockies rookie record.
Yep, 135 strikeouts. Chacon will be second on that list now, 134. Jeff Francis in 05 with 128. One other note on Ellis is the fact since August the 22nd, Major League ERA is the lowest. Zambrano, who's just been off the charts since he came back from anger management or wherever he went away to, is at 076. Where'd he go? Oh, was it anger management? I think it was anger management class.
I'm just laughing
had a 30-day class.
Wherever he went.
Yeah, no, wherever he went. Yeah, he just went away for a while. He came back. He's pitched really well. Oswald 098. Ian Kennedy 118. Shashin's fourth on that list at 120. And then Felix Hernandez 137. That's a pretty select group of guys.
1-0 on Trent Olchin. Olchin has been up there for 6 pitches now in the ball game. He hasn't seen a strike. Walked on 4 pitches in the first. For me, and when we look back, George, and we gather again in February for spring training in Phoenix, when I think of Chassin, I'll think of that Friday night ball game when he locked horns with Lincecum in the biggest game of the year. And Lincecum was unhittable. And you know what? Saved the one hanging slider to Pat Burrell 2-run home run. This guy matched him pitch for pitch on a very big stage in front of a sellout crowd.
Yeah, he did. He did a great job that night, and he's done it on other nights too, to where he gives his team an opportunity to win. And you know, everybody talks about De La Rosa being the 1B, and we got 1 and 1A, and then all of a sudden, well, this guy could be 1C. He can't. And that's how good he is. That's how good he could be.
He can't throw a strike to Olchin. That's 8 out of the strike zone. 2 walks. And that'll bring up Ryan Theriot, a 6-4-3 double play. Theriot's first time. 2 on, 2 outs. Rockies up 1-0. This date in history is brought to you by Dex One, marketing solutions, business results. September 29th, 1996, hitting his 40th home run, Vinny Castilla joins the Big Cat, Andres Galarraga, and Ellis Burks to become the first trio of teammates in 23 years to hit 40 home runs for a team. In 73, the Braves had Darrell Evans, Henry Aaron, and Davey Johnson. Yes, that Davey Johnson. Davey wasn't known as a big, that kind of home run hitter. Saved that season in 73 at Fulton County Stadium.
Atlanta, better known as the launching pad. For whatever reason, the ball just flew out of that ballpark.
Darrell Evans hit him far. Henry Aaron hit him far and frequently.
I'm just shocked all the time. And for the baseball historians, are going to go, okay, we've heard this before. But to have 3,000 hits and take away all of these hits, and he still hit all the number of home runs, but take away the home runs, he still had 3,000 hits.
Yeah.
What a player.
Yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike on Terrio, and that locked him up. It's 1-2. The thing about the great Henry Aaron, there were other things that he did. There were many things he did exceptionally well. They're always overshadowed by the home run. I mean, Henry Aaron stole a lot of bases too.
A ton of bases. Very good outfielder. Everything about him was good.
He's been a great ambassador for the game. Front office of the Braves for many, many years. 1-2 the count on Ryan Terrio, and that is a fair ball. Bobbled by Stewart. He's not going to get anybody. So now the bases are loaded for James Loney.
They're playing very deep here. It's a ball that if you come over the field cleanly, you're probably going to have a pretty good chance at it to catch the ball and then go to third base. It's going to come up an error for Mr. Stewart, his 9th of the season.
So Chacin has to get Loney. He struck him out his first time up, trying to protect that 1-0 lead. And the fastball at 90 misses outside.
No more than anybody else in the Dodgers this year. Loney's come up with the bases loaded 14 times. He's come up with 6 hits, one double. He's driven in 12 RBIs in his opportunities. And he's hit .429.
Windshield issues, call Safelight Auto Glass 303-287-5000, online at safelight.com. James Loney is another guy that's always in the lineup. In fact, since 2008, he's played in 477 games, which is the 2nd most in baseball. Tied for the 2nd most. Robinson Cano on that list also.
First full year in the big leagues. First full year in the big leagues, he played in 161 games, and it was 158 games. It's just one of those guys that plays a position at first. Likes to play, doesn't care about day-night stuff and all that. He just wants in the lineup.
And the top 4, Prince Fielder, and number 1's Adrian Gonzalez. That's in there.
He's the type of guy when in situations like this, he doesn't think grand slam. He thinks hit the pitch where it's thrown. So it's a scary type hitter to face because you can go down and away and he's feathered out into the outfield, come in and turn on the pitch.
There's the 3-1, and that misses. It forces in a run. Tied at 1. Chacin with his 3rd walk. 86th RBI for Loney as Bob Apodaca goes to the mound. Who to the dugout with the Dodgers' first run.
Well, I didn't want to give him anything to hit, so what I tried to do, you can see out here, just trying to work everything to the outside corner, and this ball with a big sink to it didn't even get close to the strike zone. As good as this kid's stuff is, sometimes you just got to trust your stuff, and that means attack that strike zone with the fastball, do it with your breaking ball. If you feel more comfortable going after him with a breaking ball, then go after him with the breaking ball.
Do you ever find you had so much movement on your two-seamer, on your sinker, George, you couldn't, I mean, you really struggled to throw for a strike?
You know, and I went to the slider and I went to the changeup when I did it in my split at the time. I'd go to those 2 pitches.
Like, man, I can't throw it over the plate. It won't stay in the zone.
You know, I had a great pitching coach and a guy named Al Widmeyer that has since passed away. And he's a wonderful guy. Big league guys, baseball people know who he is. Worked for Toronto for a long time. He said, I'll give you $1 for every time you throw your sinker and it stays in the middle of the plate. You aim for the middle. If it stays there, I'll give you $1. But he said, you're going to go broke because it'll never be there. So aim for the middle and let it work. Don't aim for the corner and let it run out of the zone.
1-0 on Matt Kemp. And this ball is a high fly ball to deep right, and this is going to get up and get out of here. A grand slam from Matt Kemp. Just a high fly ball that lands in the seats in right field, and it is 5-1 LA. Where that error now that would have put down the inning looms much larger.
Boy, did it though. 5th time Matt Kemp's left the yard with the bases loaded in his career. Let's take a look at this pitch from Ellis. Where was it? Fastball that really looked like it kind of hit spot. They went a little bit more in. He'd fallen behind. And Kemp's 2nd time he's gone deep this way. I mean, he's just a very strong human being, and he left the yard with that one.
Second home run of the series for Kemp. The Dodgers have pounded the baseball here at Coors Field. And, truth be told, the Rockies have not pitched in the second half of the month of September. And it's just a fact. They've not pitched well.
You know, you think back, and I started to do some little just kind of sitting this morning on the patio and reading the paper, started thinking, you remember Aaron Cook came back off the DL? And he had one terrific start. He was 90-93, and he kind of saw that upswing coming. Now it's just going to fill that void for the guys and help carry it. And then all of a sudden, that next start, man, he got hit on that ankle. And he was still 90-93, but when he got hit on the ankle, he kind of had to fill those gaps in. Who's going to take this position? Who's going to come in on that? And it was difficult.
What made it difficult is Hamill got tired late in the year, and then, you know, Jeff Francis was pushed back into the rotation, and you know, Jeff clearly is not ready yet, wasn't ready yet, so the Rockies were kind of going with 3/5 of their rotation. 2-2, and then that misses. 3-2. So it turned into a lengthy inning and a costly one for Yoeli Chacin, who had 2 outs and a man at second. He walked Olchin. That's a strikeout. In the inning, 5 runs. Though none of the runs are earned because of the error. As has been the case so frequently the last 10 days, now they have a deficit and a significant one, down 5-1 after the Matt Kemp grand slam. Miguel Olivo against Carlos Monasterios. He takes strike 1. You know, Olivo hit a good number of home runs in the first half. George, he has not hit a long ball since July 31st.
Yeah, that's the part that kind of shake your head a little bit at because he was so hot so early. Maybe it happened.
He hasn't hit one since July 31st. Do we take any credit for that?
No.
Number 14 for Miguel Olivo, and it's 5-2. I think you're right. He did all the work.
He did all the work, and he did it on a line, too. That ball was smack.
Coors Light, cold hard blast. Miguel Olivo, strong man, going deep for the 14th time this year. Got a hanging hook. Oh, and 1 on Chacin.
Don't blink. That thing got out of here like a rocket.
Let's see if it works again. When was the last time Chassin hit a home run, George?
19. No, I think it was 2001, 8th grade.
Little League back in Venezuela?
Yeah, I think. Not sure.
Well, the Rockies have not hit a home run from the pitcher spot in 6 years, 4 months, and 21 days. And you can look it up. Not going to happen there for Chassin. 1 out. That'll bring up Dexter Fowler. That's first strikeout for Monasterio. 5-2 to score. Wednesday afternoon at 20th and Blake. Rockies with 52 wins this year at home. Curveball. Fowler stared it down. Ball 1. There was 120 at bats between long balls for Miguel Olivo. Russ Mitchell in on the grass at third. And this ball is hit down the left field line, and that is a foul ball.
Oh, he smelled the wall. He
Trent
tasted
Olsen.
the peanuts, and he slammed the brakes on.
There's a number of stadiums, just like Coors Field, when you get in the corner, the foul line and the wall are very close together. In fact, you can take 1 or 2 strides here at Coors Field. There's some ballparks, George, where the line is right there against the wall pretty much.
Yeah, you know, he kind of did the hopscotch fake into the pad there. So, you know, like I was really close and worried I was going to hit it. Folks, ball should have been caught. Glad it wasn't.
That's a fair ball, now foul ball. To the score. 1 out, 1 and 2 count on Dexter Fowler. Dodgers just got a grand slam from Mckenry. They hit 4 home runs in a 9-7 win last night. And this is pulled down the line. What a play by Loney. That's a tremendous play by James Loney. We talked about how good his glove is last night. You just saw for yourself there.
Yeah, really good. I mean, this is one reason he's going to play an awful long time in the big leagues. His glove able to jump down and get that, and it beat Dexter to the back to record the out. Remember, he made a play similar to this the other day with Todd Helton at first, and Jay Payton hit the 1-hop liner right at him. He was able to backhand touch first and to get Todd in a rundown.
And you know what? That was a smart decision by Fowler, too, to get down, try to slide into the bag. You're not generally taught to slide into first, but that avoided a collision. Herrera grounded to third his first time up. Spilborghs and Stewart talking on the bench. 1-1. Rockies 7-10 against the Dodgers this year, so they're going to lose the season series. They went 9-9 with Arizona in the West. They went 9-9 with the Giants. They went 12-6 against the Padres. They will have 500 or better record against 3 of the 4 clubs in their division. 3-1. 3-2. Terrio in one hop. Rockies get a run back on the Miguel Olivo home run leading off the third inning. It's the Dodgers 5 and the Rockies 2 as we move to the fourth inning. Runs in the third inning, though I'm sure from Chassin's perspective, he's a little disappointed with the pitch that he served up to Matt Kemp after the error by Stewart kept the inning going. He walked a run in after that. Gave up the grand slam to Kemp. Reed Johnson at the plate. He struck out his first time. 5 punch outs through 3 innings for Chassin. Shattered bat. That's a fair ball, though. And Cargo is going to throw it back in, but Johnson has an easy double. So a leadoff double for Reed Johnson, and that'll bring up A.J. Ellis. Today's Fast Cash Sideline Report is brought to you by Fast Cash Gold Centers, where you'll always get 40% more for your gold. Again, here's one stat.
All right, guys, there's Carlos Gonzalez. We talk about his offense in terms of being an MVP, but what about his defense? Quick question. He has an assist from every outfield position, left, center, and right. How many players, guys, do you think have done that in the big leagues this year? An assist from each outfield position?
None.
No, Carlos has done it.
I'm saying none other than him.
I'm going to say.
What do you think?
I'm going to say one other guy.
Show the list. We've got a graphic. 10 other guys have done it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Really?
So a total of 11 in the big leagues. However, when you break it down to guys who have 1 error or less.
Time out.
What?
Why is Justin Maxwell on that list?
He's got an assist from every outfield
Says
spot.
he doesn't have any. Oh, the fewest errors. That's
they
the fewest
put the wrong
errors.
list up.
What list would you like,
The first
Mark?
list
We'll get
was
it straightened out.
the first list was how many guys have done it. Then the second one was when you look at errors, there's only 3 with 1 error or less, and Carlos falls into that category, along with Andres Torres. They're kind of the 2 full-time players that have that. So I'm feeding the fuel for him to be an MVP with his defense as well. 1 error this year.
Well, I think you've probably got a pretty good amount of gas in the tank, and I just think that the only thing it's going to come down to is they're going to look at September, and they're going to look at Joey Votto, and they're going to look what Cincinnati Reds have done versus what the Rockies have done.
Well, what about the versatility in the outfield?
I couldn't agree with you more. I think he is an MVP, obviously, but I just think, the East Coast people don't get the big enough look at him. That's one thing that bothers me about all the voting. There's so many guys on the East Coast that don't get a look at the guys to the West Coast and what they accomplish. Doug, in the history of the MVP,
it drives me batty, and I'm from the East Coast.
Well, here I got a really big project for Doug.
Swinging bunch. Chassin's got to go to first and get Ellis.
He looked first to go to third base, and I think Stewart started to break in so far that he could not get back to the bag to have a play on Reed Johnson at third. Doug, I have a question I want you to look at. Out of all the MVPs since 50, you want to do that? Since 1958, how many of the of MVPs been on the West Coast? Is that fair? What's that, 52 years?
Strike one on Chin Lung Ho. Excuse me.
What'd you call him? You call him where or what?
No. Chin Lung Ho. One strike count. He doubled his first time up. That's down low. Infield's in. You getting this worked out with Doug?
Doug's working on it. Anytime I see Doug's neck go out like Gumby and get all extended and he's looking at the computer, there's a pretty good chance he's locked in.
One and two. If Chassin can get who, he's got Monasterios on deck. Center field, this will get the run home. He did a good job there. He went down and got that pitch.
Well, similar to the pitch that he drove into the gap in the left field.
Pretty good job of hitting there.
It's a really good job of hitting. Their bench going to go down and congratulate him too. I mean, it's hustle play on both ends of it. Reed Johnson, the broken bat, then he gets over to third base on a swinging bunt, and who lifts this thing into the outfield?
Monasterio swings over the top of that. It's 0-1.
Chassin's only given up 3 hits, 2 doubles though, and a home run. Doug, how are we doing on this? Like, are we going to get this before 5th or 6th inning? You're usually a lot faster than this. You're like, bam, got it. Look at this. Out of 52 MVPs, Drew, just so you know, 15 are from the West. How about that? West of the Mississippi.
Yeah, that's not even.
And Barry Bonds won 5 of those 15. So basically, I mean, you know what I mean?
You know what? And that's a really
Doug,
interesting.
that's great work.
Yeah, because that's interesting. Because Bonds had become, his career was in Pittsburgh. He'd become the best hitter in baseball, clearly, without question, and everybody recognized it. So if you remove him, you're talking about 10 out of 47. I think your point's very well taken.
Koufax 1 in 63, Mays 65, McCovey 69, Garvey 74, Gibson 88, Mitchell 89, Bonds 5 times, Caminiti at 96 with the Padres, 97 Larry Walker, and then in 2000 it was Jeff Kent.
Another run for the Dodgers. They're up 6-2. Middle of the Rockies lineup in the 4th. Rockies all access of the season. The 2010 rewinds tomorrow after the ball game against the Cardinals. Go behind the scenes with Spilborgs and Carlos Gonzalez and see how they've made a difference not only on the field but in the community as well. And you'll also get a tour of the Louisville Slugger factory, where we follow one of home run hitter Jason Giambi's bats from its creation to its debut in a big league game. 6-2 the score. The Dodgers in front. They're trying to sweep the Rockies. Carlos Gonzalez at the plate. He popped out his first time. He gets a changeup, ball one. And he reaches for one, and this is fouled off, and the wind will do his job. But it's on top of the dugout. George, the Dodgers have scored in 2 of the 4 innings so far in this ball game. Yesterday, the Dodgers scored in 4 of 9 innings. De La Rosa pitched well in the first game. They scored in 2 of 9 the first game. Then you go back over the weekend, and the Giants 3 of 9, 4 of 9. Went back as far as Saturday. The reason I bring that up is, you know, it's one thing to give up a run or a couple runs, but when there's constant traffic,
hard to pitch that way.
I mean, it's like every inning. Yesterday, the Rockies caught the Dodgers, then they added 2 on, then another 1 on in the 9th, 2 in the 8th, 1 in the 9th. It's just you can't constantly put that kind of heat on your offense.
On the bullpen's very difficult, and that's where you've got to come in and do your job. That's where I said, you know, I'd like to see how many games that got away from the Rockies this year and all the times they had to come back. Where you started go out in the 4th or 5th inning and you go to that bullpen and hope they maintain. Because I've said it about 5 or 6 times this week about the job Matt Daly did a year ago, just to maintain it and allow that offense to jump back in it.
One out to Tulowitzki. Hit a line drive to deep center field that Matt Kemp lost in the sun. It turned into a triple. Tulowitzki scored on a fly ball by Todd Helton. That's a base hit to right for Troy. Let's take a look at our Excel Energy fun fact. Kenley Jansen retired Cargo and Troy Tulowitzki for his 3rd career save last night. Each represented the tying run. It was the first time this season any pitcher notched a save by retiring Gonzalez and Tulowitzki for the final 2 outs. It's hard to retire those 2 guys in succession at any point in the ball game. It's a great stat. Find more money-saving information at responsiblebynature.com. Down low to Helton. Mark asked this question yesterday, and we do get this quite a bit out and about. You know, is Todd Helton going to come back next year? Todd Helton's under contract, and Todd, said it in the papers this morning. Said, I fully plan on coming back next year. He said, I plan on being a lot better than I was this year.
That's what makes a player. 2,200 hits. This doubles the home runs, the RBIs. Is his desire to succeed and work to get to that level again.
Yeah, I walked out with Todd last night, and folks, let me tell you something. If you ever have any doubt about how much these players care, think of 2 things. One, Troy Tulowitzki making the final out in a ball game that the Rockies, even last night, even though that eliminated them the final out, they knew it was done. But Tulowitzki broke his bat at home plate, spiked it into the dirt. Give you an idea how disappointing this has been to this club. And Todd Helton, the second point, was lamenting how tough it's been the last 10 days. This club felt like they were going to get it done and head into October.
And each one feels responsible. Nobody's pointing fingers.
No, not at all. Not at all. That's not the makeup of this group. That is ball 4. And here's how the ball game ended last night. Tulowitzki against Jansen. If that wasn't a statement. Statement of frustration, a statement of disappointment. And this is going to be the first losing homestand on the Jim Tracy watch. The Rockies 1-4. They win today, 2-4. Haven't hit much on this homestand. Ran into some good pitching, in particular Tim Lincecum and Matt Cain. Carroll was very good yesterday for most of the ball game. Spilborghs fouls it off. Jim Tracy still at Coors Field, 96-45 since he took over for Clint Hurdle. One strike count with one out on Spilborghs. Two on base, and this ball lathered to center field, base hit. Here's Tulowitzki to third. He'll stop there.
Bad throw.
And the throw by Kemp was halfway between home plate and first. And Stewart, the tying run will come up.
Scalded rocket right up the middle on the Hyundai Cam. You can see it right now. That ball right off the bat and just not where they wanted it. And Spilborghs made him pay. Just line drive right back up the middle. Kemp's going to grab it, and in his throw, it's like he threw a slider about 30 yards wide of home plate. Cunnington's going to come out and visit with the youngster. I mean, this is a guy that typically worked out of the bullpen. He doesn't go particularly deep into games. Rockies this year, another area you could point to. They've hit 227 with runners on every base. Ian Stewart for the season, 3 for 18.
There's Joe Torre behind the future manager Don Mattingly. Torre has 3.5 more ball games in his tenure as the skipper of the Dodgers, and right now he's 255 and 226, a .530 winning percentage with LA, which is very fine. 2 division titles. Jim Tracy had a winning percentage of .541 as the skipper of the Dodgers, 263 and 223. Stewart takes a strike. Just the 4th inning. 6-2 LA, but with one out, the Rockies have loaded the bases for Ian Stewart. And Stewart with that buggy whip swing out in front of the changeup, 0-2. Ramon Troncoso is throwing in the Dodger pen. Pulled down the line, fair ball. Loney's going to get one out. That's at the bag. That's the second hit Loney's stolen from the Rockies
today, and the other one the other day on Peyton toss. The same type of action. You do get the run out of the deal, but that ball was just smoked by Ian Stewart. Wow. Everybody move up a base, but a good backhand by him. He thought about going to the plate, but Stewart was in his running or throwing path, I should say. So he did do it, but he went ahead and got the out at first. Man, oh man.
Now you have Olivo up. There's no way they're going to pitch to him. He had a home run against Monasterios his last time up. First base is unoccupied. So Chacin will get a chance with the bases loaded. It's a cold, hard blast. Brought to you by Coors Light. Coors Light cold, hard blast of the game. Miguel Olivo. Breaking ball, stayed back, and ripped it. 14th home run, first on 120 at bats for Olivo. Pat on the back from his skipper.
Unless if he takes the pitch and makes him throw a strike. A lot of times pitchers have a difficult time throwing strike one after an intentional walk.
He's hacking, he whipped it. Chin Long Hu reaches up and makes the catch. Six-3. FSN is brought to you by AT&T. Find out what's possible with the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, rethink possible. By Dex One, marketing solutions, business results. By the Courtyard by Marriott on the 16th Street Mall. Call 303-571-1114 and ask about our hometown sports package. And by the fastest growing car dealer in America, Hyundai. 6-3 the score. The Rockies trailing the Dodgers on a sun-splashed Wednesday afternoon. Final home game of the regular season for the Rockies. Well, so far, the Rockies, quickly, George, have drawn just under 2.9 million fans this year. Cool? It's fourth in the National League, and it's going to finish in the top 10 in baseball. And it's going to be the first time since 2002 that the Rockies can make that claim, and it's all because of you folks coming out and supporting this most entertaining team. 1-1 on Trent Olchin, and Olchin has been walked twice. The first two times he didn't see a strike. Now he finally saw a strike, and then he saw a breaking pitch that hit him in the side. So he's on first again. And
to continue a little bit of what Drew's talking about, all the fans here at the ballpark, but you fans at home too. It's a privilege to bring it to you, and of course to work with one of the best crews in all of baseball. And I say that because we travel to 30 cities and do Major League Baseball, and our camera crew, along with Sam, sorry Sam, I had to bring your name up on air again. That's another $2. And the rest of everybody around here that makes this thing possible for us with the work that they do, from tape ops to research by Doug to every single person that brings you this telecast. We got great people to work with.
We got a super crew, and that was a great shot because it was a very typical shot. Donnie Mills out in center field was searching the sky. And I just wanted to point out to Donnie, there's no clouds up there. The baseball game's down here, Donnie. There you go. Donnie gets lost once in a while. Donnie, come on, you want to pull that head out of there. Nobody loves more FaceTime than Don Mills.
Well, all the camera guys are chuckling right now.
Yeah. A couple guys missing today. Brian Peters.
Bo's gone today.
Bo's not here.
But it is a very special crew. You don't get to see these guys. You don't work with them or interact every day, but it is a special bunch of people that Drew and I are fortunate enough, and Jeff Houston and the rest of the pre- and post-game shows, to get an opportunity to sit down every day and have them on our team.
Absolutely. Well put. Terrio at the plate with Olchin at first. Olchin has pretty good speed.
This is the last game. I forgot about that. This is the last game for Jim Armentrout to direct. He does the home games. Kenny Miller takes care of the road games. Jimmy, very experienced and very, very good director. Sam's clapping in the background.
Well, Trout has some things to do right now because Detroit's coming out with another CD, right?
So they have their second song on CD.
Well, they got more than that. Runner's going, and a high throw. Olchin had shut it down. He knew he was going to be out. He shut it down between first and second. And the only problem is Miguel had so much on the baseball, it sailed into center field.
Well, I bet you the wind played a little bit of width. Not a whole lot, though, because he cleared Johnny by about a foot and a half, 2 feet as he skates into second base. 9th error this year on Miguel.
That's an interesting scoring.
What do you give? Stolen base?
Well,
I don't know how.
Yeah, it's, I don't think you give him a stolen base because he would have been out. He said he was going to be out basically by stopping. So I agree with you. It's going to be, and it is now officially an error on Miguel Oliva. 2 errors today on the Rockies. Oh, 2 Ontario. The third, Stewart will hold the runner. One out. That'll bring up Loney, who walked in the 3rd inning. That forced in a run. Forced in the first run for the Dodgers. And then the next hitter, Matt Kemp, hit a high fly ball that traveled out of the ballpark to right field. Loney has made his presence felt defensively in this game big time.
A little bit more. Just his 10th hit, 65 at bats this year against the Rockies. It's going to score another run to make it 7-3.
James Loney keeps adding to that RBI total against Colorado.
87 on the season right now.
He's got 60 career RBIs against the Rockies. Second only since 2006 to Adrian Gonzalez. 7-3 the score. That run could be unearned depending on how the rest of the inning unfolds. All right, our AT&T trivia question. What's the most home wins Colorado has had in a season? They have 52 this year at Coors Field so far. Kemp at the plate. Inside.
Looks like Del Carmen started to get loose down in the Rockies bullpen. Grabbed his glove, grabbed the ball.
Six pitches. 1-1 with 1 out. Loney at first. Can't play around. 1-2. Foul ball. 1-2 the count remains. Dodgers go home, take on Arizona. They'll have an off day tomorrow. While the Rockies are playing a 4-game set against the Cardinals. Cardinals won at home today, 4-1 over Pittsburgh. 2-2 to Kemp. Swung on and missed. And Chassin has struck out Matt Kemp for the second time today. Unfortunately, the time he didn't strike him out, Kemp hit a grand slam.
Good hard slider in a good, very good position. Swung right out over the top of this thing. Excuse me, changeup. See all that on the Hyundai cam coming out of the hand of Yoeli Chassin with 7 punch-outs.
Russ Mitchell, 0 for 2. Mitchell has struck out in this ball game. With Chassin's secondary stuff, changeup, slider, a lot of swings and misses.
Well, the best part about it, when he first came up, and again, that was last year, he really depended on nothing but the fastball. I've got to have fastball command, fastball. You have to have that. What he's learned over the past is I might not have that command of the fastball early in the game, but I'm going to have that slider change up, and if I have to, a hard curveball.
Two and one on Mitchell. Two and two on Albuquerque's team MVP this year.
Hey, he's got the long ball. He's got some power now. He's had 2 home runs so far up here, but he's had some power in the minor leagues.
First big league hit was a home run against Jonathan Sanchez on September 16th. Rome, Georgia. Here's the 2-2 and a ground ball foul.
Drew, P.J. Walters got the win in St. Louis today. He's 2-0 now.
P.J. is?
Yeah, pajamas.
That's fouled off. Pujols didn't play this afternoon.
No, he took the day off.
He's allowed.
Probably going to be in all those games against the Rockies, I would think, till maybe Sunday.
Adam Wainwright was removed from the rotation for the rest of the year. He will not pitch.
Tender elbow.
Fouled off again. (7-3) LA. It's weird though. They have 7 runs. You look up on the scoreboard, they have 4 hits. Walks, a hit batter, and a grand slam. Dodgers have scored in 3 straight innings. And it's going to be another unearned run. 7 runs for the Dodgers, and 6 are unearned. They're sitting on 52. The all-time record is 55. And that was set in 1996, second year the Coors Field was open. Dexter Fowler at the plate fouls it off. The Rockies second most wins this year, and if they come back and win, they'll be at 53. On the ground to second. Terrio throws out Fowler. He's 0 for 3. That'll bring up Herrera. He's hit into a couple of ground outs. 1 to third, 1 to second.
Join the Rockies legends Dante Bichette and Andres Galarraga and a few more of us down at Fantasy Camp January 25th through the 29th. That all starts in January. Looking forward for you to be there. So pick up the phone, call the Rockies. 1-800-312-CAMP.
Herrera takes a strike, 1-1. And a base hit for Jonathan Herrera. I'm talking about individuals that have taken a big step forward this year. Right near the top of the class of Rockies is the work of Jonathan Herrera.
On the Hyundai Cam, a pretty good look at what we're talking about right here out of the hand. On the Hyundai Cam, you'll see the swing on a high fastball. Didn't try to do a lot with it, just enough.
So Johnny Herrera at first, and one of his best friends at the plate, Little Pony, Carlos Gonzalez. Childhood friends, Herrera, Gonzalez, and Maracaibo in Venezuela. As Cargo says it, Johnny Herrera was the big star in Little League. They just kept finding a better league to play in, huh, George?
Well, usually. They finally went to the one that had a whole lot of lights, 3 or 4 decks, 4 umpires. Get tired of getting cheated by the umpires, so they just brought 4 of them in.
Nice unis.
Better. More. A couple pairs extra, couple pairs of pants, different jerseys.
Outside, 2-0. Bigger clubhouse than they had in Little League.
Well, it wasn't as nice because Mom cooked.
That's right. 2-0, and this ball is roped to right, but it's right at Reed Johnson. He allowed out. Take a look at our Amica home run zone. Troy Tulowitzki. Amica, it's not how you're covered, it's how you're treated.
High inside fastball. You obviously have seen what he's done there. This is the one that surprises me. That's that high and away fastball, second most of any spot, or third most, I should say. Taking it to right field, and the other right below that. The ability to drive that thing out of the yard.
Troy's 2 for 2, triple and a single. He has scored 2 of the Rockies' 3 runs. If Tulo has a big final few ball games, George, he can drive in 100 runs for the first time in his career. He was at 99 last year.
Yeah, great goal, too, to have. I mean, 5 more RBIs, he'll be there.
And that's going to sneak through the middle of the diamond. Johnny Herrera with 2 outs, obviously moving. And he'll get to third base. First and third, Tulowitzki 3 for 3 after snapping an 0 for 13 slide. And Todd Helton coming up. Geico quote from Vince Lombardi: "If winning isn't everything, why do they keep score?"
Agree.
And certainly when you get to this level or anywhere close to it. Beautiful thing about kids athletics, George, you have 7-year-olds on the football field, they can be getting beat 40-0. They'll ask, "Are we winning?"
Or what's for snacks?
Right. Well, more importantly, you're right. What's the snack after the game?
You have apple juice, or did y'all go get the other stuff?
2-0 on Helton. Tom, sack fly and a walk.
Don't miss the second of the 2011 season. You can put down your deposit right now for season tickets for next year for the Rockies. So pick up the phone and dial the Rockies, 1-800-388-ROCK, or go online to ColoradoRockies.com.
And Helton walks again. Now the bases are loaded for Spilborghs. Joe Torre's trying to do everything he can to get Monasterios the opportunity to win the game, but he's going to have to go get him after 4 2/3. Carlos Monasterios, who made the emergency start for Clayton Kershaw, departs with a 7-3 lead, but the Rockies have the bases loaded. Spilborgh's coming up with 2 outs. We will be back. Seven-3. Ryan Spilborgh's coming up. He'll face Ramon Troncoso. 2 outs in the 5th inning.
Troncoso making his 50th appearance on the season. You see the big numbers, 50 2/3. He's worked a lot along relief in those 49 games, and he will do one thing. He can give up the long ball. 7 home runs given up on the season. Spilborghs, with the bases loaded this year, has not gotten a hit in 7 opportunities with 4 strikeouts. I mentioned earlier the Rockies just 227 with the bases loaded. Time to change the trend if you're Ryan Spilborghs.
Spilborgh's a pop out and a single. It's inside, ball 1. Johnny Herrera's at third. He singled. Troy Tulowitzki singled. He's at second. Todd Helton just walked for the 2nd time. He is at first. And that's fouled off. Good swing.
Troncoso's fastball 92 to 95 miles an hour, then the hard slider to go with it. He does have a third secondary pitch. Acts as a changeup. The bottom just drops out of it. But two primary pitches. It would be the hard breaking ball and the good fastball.
Look at it. 2-2.
Well, I worked a little underneath this breaking ball and zipped this thing up around Spilly's head. Not what you're anticipating at all.
And that's fouled off. Spilborgh's hit better against righties this year than lefties. He's hit .301 against right-handed pitching, .257 against lefties. Close to the same number of at-bats, 176 against righties, 152 against lefties. Bases loaded, 2-2 on Spilborgh's. The splits this year. Good second half for Ryan Spilborgh's. Today is 76th start in the outfield. Three and two. You like this as a hitter with the bases loaded because you can pretty much eliminate everything but the heater, you would assume. That's the second half numbers, 303.
Well, and plus he hadn't shown that you can throw a breaking ball for a strike yet. The one he threw was up around his head.
Heater, and it's lined. The left's got to get down again. Base hit will score two. Spilborgh's comes through in 7-5.
And that first hit for Spilly with the bases loaded, and he drives in two big ones here in the last home game at Coors Field to make it 7-5. He got the fastball that he was looking for, and with Tulowitzki and Johnny Herrera on the move, it allowed for them to score easily. You just hoped when it left the bat that it didn't stay up long enough to give an opportunity for the left fielder to come up with a baseball, because then if Johnson's able to catch that, obviously ends the inning. On the Southwest Sky Cam, fastball up, little top spin on it, sit down in front of him, Tulowitzki came in. I want to correct that. Olgen to the left, Reed Johnson in right for the Dodgers.
Stewart takes a strike. Stewart was up with the bases loaded in the fourth inning. Hit a sharp ground ball that Loney kept from going down the right field line. It was an RBI fielder's choice. Outside, 1-1 strike. Helton at second. Spilborgh's at first. 7-5 LA. And the Dodgers have scored 3 straight innings, and the Rockies have now scored in 4 straight innings. One and two on Ian Stewart. Southern California born and bred, now makes his home with his wife and daughter in Asheville, North Carolina. Susan's family's from. Of course, his father-in-law, Joe Michaluk, longtime manager of the Rockies Asheville club. He has been highly successful. And Stewart goes down. Troncoso gets the strikeout, but the Rockies get a couple of more runs on the bases loaded single from Ryan Spilborgh. 7-5 the score as we go to the 6th. Rockies joining us down in the Rockies dugout. Trace, forget about this ballgame for one moment. I know how much you appreciate what you call the 10th man here, and they have poured out all season long, haven't they?
They really have, Drew. I got to be honest with you and George. You know, there's a big part of me where I can't wait until this game's over, where we get to make our march around the field, because I want to do the best job I possibly can to thank them. They've been unbelievable, and I want to make sure that they realize I don't want any of them to go away, Drew, because we're coming right back next year, and we have strong anticipation of playing significant games in September and hopefully going a heck of a lot further than we did this year or last year, Drew.
Well, Trace, great job this year. I know it's disappointing a little short, but we can't thank you enough for all the time and energy that you have given to us as well as the club. So thank you for all of us at FSN.
My pleasure to you, George, Michael, everybody upstairs, everybody in the truck. You guys are absolutely terrific to me and this team, and we greatly appreciate it.
All right, Trace, go get them.
See you guys.
Thanks. Reed Johnson will lead off. Rockies have made a couple of changes we'll tell you about. As you can see, Manny Del Carmen's now on the hill. And the Rockies also have a new third baseman. Chris Nelson is in there for Ian Stewart. Hopefully Stewart didn't re-aggravate that injury. May just be a double switch situation.
Well, I think that's what it is, because Del Carmen goes in. Stewart made the last out, and they put Nelson in the spot and let him swing it in the 9-hole. So it works out that way. 8th appearance for Manny Del Carmen. Came over from Boston. Good power arm. Another one of those question marks that what do you do in the offseason with him? Bring him back, let him throw the baseball, and see if he can be a part of that bullpen.
You know, they changed it last inning, George. A little bit strange for me. They made that run against Chacin earned.
So out of the 7, how many ended up being earned?
Well, that would make 2 of them earned out of the 7, because there was 1 out, and you remember Olchin took off for second. He shut it down between first and second on a stolen base attempt because he saw the throw by Oliva was going to get him by 10, 15 feet. But the ball sailed into center field, so he moves up. It was an error on Oliva. Next hitter grounds to third.
He wouldn't have moved up.
And they were assuming then that you wouldn't have gotten the force at second. That's the only way, and then there was a base hit after. That's the only way you could make that run.
That's why I never liked to score, never wanted to, because there's just so many different things that can happen and go on, and obviously he made up his mind to do one thing.
So anyhow, 7 runs, 2 earned in 5 innings. And this ball is well hit to center field by Reed Johnson. But Dexter Fowler just outran the baseball. Got it in the middle of the track. Reed Johnson a long out. Take a look at our Quest high-speed pitch today. Brought to you by Quest, the high-speed internet provider of the Colorado Rockies. Monasterios 93, Chacin 93. Both of those guys are out of the ball game. Monasterios cannot get the win as he went forward 2/3. Chacin is responsible right now for the Rockies being down. 4 hits allowed in 5 innings by Chacin. The big blow, a Matt Kemp grand slam. Chacin walked 3 and he hit a batter. He struck out 7. Del Carmen ahead of A.J. Ellis 0-2. Deep short to Lewinsky, and Todd couldn't come up with that one. That'll be an infield hit.
Well, the thing about it, Tulowitzki got Ellis, if you think about it, twice in last night's game, 1 on Friday night, or the first night in here. And right now he gets a pretty good chance of getting him again. The thing with Todd was he knew he had a backup in Oliva behind the baseball, so he tried to pick and tag all at the same time. And the ball came to the first base area. Ball in the hole. You can see Nelson come over, backhanded, short. Now watch Todd. He's going to go down and try to pick and tag all in the same time. And the ball got by him, but Oliva was back there, so was Johnny Herrera. So he felt comfortable with that part. And trying to make that pick and tag at first.
Shin-Lung Hu is at the plate. He fouls off the first pitch.
Watch this on the hunting cam. See, ball's coming. He's going to try to swipe, and then here comes the glove right behind it, hoping he had the ball in there and he would be able to tag him out. That would have been a highlight play. A lot of first basemen wouldn't even thought about trying to even attempt that.
Gets away for a moment. Olivo to second. Not quite in time. Ball got out of the glove of Tulowitzki anyhow, and A.J. Ellis moves up on a wild pitch.
Anytime as a catcher, you try to kick that ball away from you and keep it out in front of you. Don't let it get 3 or 4 feet away. If you cup the shoulders and you're able to bury it out in front, you don't have to go that far to get it. That was just a good reaction on A.J. Ellis to get to second.
In the air, left center field. Fowler makes the catch. Ellis returns to second, 2 outs. Bring up Troncoso. Who wants tacos? Fans, if you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies score 7 or more in a game for the Rockies taco special, text the keyword taco to 95323. Odd ball 1 on Troncoso. That's a strike, 1-1. This is just the second at bat this year for Troncoso. Actually, his 3rd plate appearance. He does have an RBI, 0 for 1 and a walk.
Think he walked with the bases loaded?
I don't know. I'm going to say RBI granddad, George.
Doug?
No.
Doug's gone anyway, doesn't matter. Troncoso's 0 for 1. But he has an RBI. I'm saying he got walked with the bases loaded.
I said it was an RBI ground. George wanted you to look it up. I said, no way. Don't do that. There's the strikeout of Troncoso. There was an infield hit by Ellis. He's left at second base. Middle of 6th, the Dodgers 7 and the Rockies 5. time for the Coors Light Freeze Cam. Center field, Matt Kemp. I don't think he could see the baseball. Nope, he couldn't. Troy Tulowitzki's line drive turns into a triple, and he would score on a Todd Helton fly ball. That's the Frost Brewed Coors Light Freeze Cam.
By the way, Doug found it. He did walk with the bases loaded.
So you were right?
Well, I guessed right. Nice crowd. I love it again today. We've talked an awful lot about that, but a good crowd at the ballpark. A lot of people maybe should have been at work today and just got real sick. About 12:45. Work downtown.
I don't find any problem with that.
You know what? Our boss didn't say a word when they showed up flip-flops and a short and a T-shirt.
Sunscreen
Instead
on
of
their
a coat
nose.
and tie.
Miguel Olivo, a home run, an intentional walk. Facing Ramon Troncoso, who got the final out of the 5th inning after giving up a 2-run single to Spilborghs. Breaking ball for a strike. Olivo, Chris Nelson, Dexter Fowler. Pittsburgh lost today. That was their
Did they hit it yet?
102nd loss of the year.
Wow.
They have secured the top pick in the draft.
Again.
Well,
Washington had it 2 years in a row.
Yeah, they did.
But they've had it a few times.
They haven't done well enough with their high picks, especially when it's come to pitching. I like some of their young players.
Alvarez
they're
is a
good
player.
players. Alvarez will be fine.
Wilson,
Neil
Jarrett.
Walker's a good player. Jose Tabata had a great second half.
McCutcheon might be
farmhand.
McCutcheon's unbelievable in center field.
Yeah, he's terrific. 3-1. You got to pitch it though, George.
It's amazing how it all comes back to that, isn't it?
Ball in the air down the right field line and out of play. Here's the 3-2. And this one's popped up to right. Reed Johnson battling the sun, and he makes the catch. Boy, it's hard to determine if guys can see it or not. Obviously, he could. One out, and let's pay a visit to Mark Stout again. Mark?
Hey, guys, look who I've found in center field enjoying a ball game, watching his son, Ryan Spilborgh's dad, Renee. And we had a story come up yesterday. You told me the story about how Ryan was a Dodgers fan.
Yes, he was.
Tell everybody why he changed from being a Dodgers fan.
Well, we waited after the game for Steve Sachs, his favorite player, and Steve Sachs just passed him by.
Wow.
So he came home and he just threw all his Steve Sachs away, and he became an Angels fan.
His dad was an Angels fan. Ryan was born in 1979, the year that Don Baylor was the MVP of the American League, playing for the Angels. So you got him to switch from the Dodgers to the Angels because of that Steve Sachs incident.
That's correct.
And, guys, one last thing. He also told me that in 1993, when the Rockies became a franchise, Ryan drew a picture of a ball player with a Rockies uniform on.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did, in grade school.
In grade school. They still have that today. Ryan has it. Ironically, he gets drafted. 2 hits today, a couple of RBIs. Thanks for taking some time.
Rockies player. That's awesome, isn't it?
It is. He's a beloved Rockies player. Thank you.
Hey,
Go Rockies.
Hey, Mark.
Yes,
tell Renee, actually, as Chris Nelson grounds out,
okay.
What happened with Sachs is Sachs did sign the autograph, and then he tossed it to Ryan, but he ended up tossing it in the stands.
Drew said that Steve Sachs did sign the autograph, but he tossed it to Ryan, and he tossed it in the stands. He couldn't get him because, he had that problem throwing the
That's not true. I was there. You passed him by.
But that's how he went from the Dodgers to the Angels because of his dad, and now a Rocky through and through. Guys?
All right. Thanks very much, Mark. Good to see Mr. Spilborghs at the ballpark. Dexter Fowler at the plate with 2 outs. That was a home run cut from Fowler. Bottom of the 6th, the Rockies have scored in 4 straight innings. Nothing cooking so far here in the 6th inning against Troncoso, trailing by a couple of runs. Rockies 9-6 in home finales at Coors Field. Heard Jim Tracy when he joined us last half inning, so I can't wait to visit with all the fans as they make their traditional walk around the ballpark afterwards. Ground ball, diving stop at third by Mitchell, and he's going to get Fowler. Good play by Russ Mitchell. 1, 2, 3 inning for Troncoso in the 6th. We'll go to the 7th, 7-5 LA. It's a good looking play. Player of the series, and even though he's not playing in this game, he did enough damage the first 2 ball games that we give Casey Blake the nod. 5 for 9, couple of home runs, 4 ribbies, 2 doubles. And this guy was in a horrendous slump coming into the series, 2 for 34. But Blake, a big part of why the Dodgers won the first 2 ball games of this series. It's presented by the Colorado Association of Mechanical and Plumbing Contractors. To have your next building or service project done right the first time, visit jobdoneright.org. There's Casey Blake. Against the Rockies this year, very good numbers. Here's our friend Jamie Carroll in the middle of the screen. Can't tell you how much respect I have for how he plays the game. Signed a 2-year deal in the offseason with the Dodgers, so he'll be back in LA, barring a trade. And Franklin Morales. Frankie's out there to pitch the 7th inning after Del Carmen pitched a scoreless 6th inning. Top of the order, Trent Olchen.
Nice job what he did yesterday. Came in and faced the 2 left-handers and punched them both out. That was a nice job, nice way to come into the ball game, try to hold things where they are. He's going to be asked to do just the same here in the top of the 7th with the Rockies trailing by 2.
You know, we have fun with Steve Sachs. Steve Sachs was quite a player, but he had trouble.
He got the yips. He couldn't throw to first,
but he was an outstanding player. But it also reminds me of that story we've told many times in the past, George, the one about Pedro Guerrero, who wasn't the best outfielder in the world. And the Dodgers were in a close game, and a reporter after the game, the Dodgers held on for the win, and a reporter asked Pedro Guerrero after the game, what were you thinking in that 9th inning trying to hold on to the 1-run lead? And he said, I was thinking, don't hit it to me. And then he paused for effect, and he said, and don't hit it to Sachs.
Don't hit the Sachs. We were pretty cruel. We used to sit in the other dugout during warm-ups, you know. Because, you know, they roll the balls out to all the infielders and then throw them first. In the Dodger Stadium, you got that big one. We'd all grab a bunch of gloves and go, come on, Saxy, here, buddy. Right over here, buddy.
That's not right.
Just to get him set up for the game.
He could hit. 1-2 on Olsen. Outside, 2-2. Sachs, a 5-time All-Star. Just missed. 3-2. Fastball at 95. Earns the punch out of Olchen. 1 out. That'll bring up Ryan Terrio, who's 0 for 3.
Good placement after throwing a really electric slider right before that down in that area. The one thing he's doing now, Franklin, is he's really staying on his body line with his arm and on the finish to the plate, which helps obviously get pretty good results out of it.
Ontario. Fouled off. Ryan, after Sunday, will head home with his wife and kids to Baton Rouge. Grew up in Baton Rouge, went to LSU. Got recruited by a lot of big-time baseball schools. He said the decision to stay home was easy. Thought about Florida State for a moment. They wanted to make him a center fielder, though. 2 outs.
Take it behind the scene tours of Coors Field, and dadgummit sees this last home game, so you won't get to see Drew's dressing room and makeup artist and all that stuff, but starting next year you can. Group and individual tickets, they're available. 1-800-388-ROCK to make your appointment for that, or 303 Rockies. And I tell you the other way, ColoradoRockies.com. And, you know, start of the year next year, you might just catch Drew getting his hair fixed, getting makeup on, getting ready to go.
You know what? I think next year I'm not going to share a dressing room with you anymore.
Well, we never have, never want to. Always grab the wrong jacket, never fits.
James Loney at the plate.
Keep telling you, long jackets on the right, short on the left, and then we get in there and you mix them up on me, and then I come out and they don't fit.
I'm going to steal your hairpiece next year.
All right, you can have it. I'll give it to you. I say about shaving my head.
Yeah?
Yep. Tell you what, I'll shave mine if you shave yours and you go first.
I already did.
No, and you go first.
2-0. I had it done for me. With the Rockies, it's not so much the Rockies. It's, you know, a lot of it has to do with Franklin Morales. But if he can get to that point, George, where he can not only repeat the mechanics, but mentally keep his focus game to game, working out of the pen. That is a dynamic arm on the left side. It's a power arm.
But the thing is, you've got to be able to get trust, have your manager trust you with everything you're doing. And you know, Franklin's starting to get that trust again, but you got to continue it. You can't back off of it.
Strong 1-2-3 inning in the 7th. The Rockies down by 2. Alexis look back. Matt Kemp hits a grand slam in a 5-run third inning for the Dodgers. All of the runs were unearned. The Rockies had a chance to get out of the inning, could not. Miguel Olivo, a solo home run, that made it 5-2. First home run in a couple of months for Miguel. Johnny Herrera on the left of your screen leading things off. James Loney had an RBI base hit. And Olchin coming around. 7-5 is our score. That's our Cooney Lexus look back. The Rockies' last 2 runs came on a bases-loaded single from Ryan Spilborg. It's Cooney Lexus. We'll see in Littleton on South Broadway, where luxury has an address. Troncoso continues to throw. And you got the final out of the 5th. He worked a 1-2-3 6th inning. It's Herrera, Cargo, and Tulowitzki. 2-1. Herrera's 1 for 3. And the bunt attempt goes foul. Baseball hits your windshield, you got a problem.
You pick up the phone.
And you call Safelite Auto Glass at 303-287-5000. You have a computer handy, go to safelite.com.
You probably got them on a retainer at your house, don't you?
With the baseballs, we try not to throw them near the cars.
Try is the key word there.
Yeah.
They get a little wild. It's not a big thing.
And a sharply hit ball for a base hit. Second hit of the ball game for Jonathan Herrera.
You know what, James Loney, I thought he's going to do it again when this ball left the bat. Fastball that started to sink, but it stayed up just enough in the zone to shoot by him. But, you know, he dove, and that ball just a little bit out of his reach. Yep, Joe Torre's going to go to his bullpen. Sherrill's warming up. He had his opportunity yesterday to face Gonzalez and had the success to get out. He'll get another chance today.
You know what? Time for payback for Carlos Gonzalez against George Sherrill. Last 2 times Sherrill struck him out on that good slider. We'll see that matchup when we come back. Rockies trying to come from behind. They actually had a 1-0 lead early. And then the Dodgers went ahead 5-1, 6-2. Nobody has more hits left on left this year in baseball than Carlos Gonzalez.
We'll see what lefties have done against Carroll. 203 and a home run, and again 64th game to appear in, just 34 2/3. Probably the ultimate left-handed specialist in baseball this year.
Well, former closer, a guy that used to work against righties too. He just can't get them out anymore. And that's what happened in the last two at-bats when these two matched up. Carlos had good looks at a fastball, fouled him straight back, and then got himself in a pitcher's count, and that's when the slider showed up. One, and now it's 1-2. It's always a chess match. The mental game, the game inside the game. Carlos Gonzalez, you got to protect against the heater, Sid Heater, but you know he's got to think that slider's coming. There it is, and it's not a real sharp slider. That was one in the hitting zone. And he gets him again on a slider. Last three matchups, George Sherrill has fanned Carlos Gonzalez.
Well, he's taking advantage of really hiding the ball very well. That's what he does. I mean, he hides it so well and then pops that thing out of there. And he throws his slider hard. He throws it, and he can have a big break, short break to it. And as bad as his numbers have been this year on the Hyundai cam, you'll see that hard slider spin, or maybe we'll just suspend it in air for you.
I remember the last time Cargo was 0 for 4. Here's Tulowitzki. He's 3 for 3. Batman and Robin. You can't get them both the same day. Most unusual if you do. Like last night when they made the final 2 outs of the ball game. First time that had happened in a 9th inning situation all year. In there for a strike on Tulo. Belisle and Escalona throwing in the Rockies bullpen. That catches the corner. 2-strike count. Johnny Herrera single. And that's a base hit. 4 for 4 ball game for Tulowitzki. 2 on for Helton. Funny how this game works, George. Troy was 0 for his previous 13. He hits a line drive to center field. Matt Kemp loses it. Otherwise, it's an out. Loses it in the sun. Since then, 3 straight singles, and that ball I'm talking about went for a triple.
And he scored 3 runs in the ball game to go along with those 3 triples. Helton sacrificed, scored the first run for the Rockies, and then he's walked in his last 2 at bats behind 0-1.
And that catches the corner, according to Gary Darling. Both pitches on the forward strike zone, a little bit off the plate. Now Todd's got to be concerned with that slider. It's a show me fastball, because here comes the slider.
Another fastball at 89 miles an hour, and he strikes out Helton. The 2 left-handers he's had success, Gonzalez and Helton, but the base hit by Tulowitzki. Now you have the right-handed hitting Spilborg. Fastball, just got to buy Todd, trying to see if which way they may go here with the Dodgers. Hyundai camp shows that ball to Helton just under it.
crossed him up through the heater, struck him out. Spilborgh's 2 ribbies his last time up, 2 for 3 in the game. You know, it's interesting, George, and it kind of speaks to the guys who've been in and out of the lineup. There's only 3 Rockies that have more than 400 at bats right now, and you have 4 ball games left after today.
A little unusual, isn't it?
Yeah. Gonzalez is the only one with 500 at bats. That's inside, 3-0. Melvin Mora is in the on-deck circle where the pitcher spot is. Fowler has more than 400. Tulowitzki has 455 coming in. That's a strike. And normally, you know, if guys stay healthy, you're going to probably have 5 position players at least, you know, that play every day and are going to get 500 plus at bats. Outside, the bases are loaded again. Another inning, and the Rockies have loaded them up now for Melvin Mora. See if Joe Torre allows Carroll to pitch to Mora, who's had a great September. Talking it over with Bob Schaefer and Don Mattingly, among others, it looks like.
Just making sure his bullpen's ready to go, that the right-hander's fired up and ready to come into the ball game. He's going to point down, he's going to go get him. It'll be Weaver. Drop down sidearm Jared Weaver.
Here's Melvin. Take the baseball from Carroll, and Jeff Weaver will be aboard when we come back to Coors Field. The Dodgers in the 7th inning ahead 7-5. Bottom of the 7th inning, 2 outs. Rockies have the bases loaded. Moore is going to face Jeff Weaver. Today's call to the bullpen is brought to you by Xfinity Voice, unlimited local and long distance calling. Call 1-800-XFINITY.
Well, the reason Jim Tracy went to Mora, if the bases got loaded this season, had 455 with 18 total RBIs. That's a huge number for Melvin Mora. Jeff Weaver making his 43rd appearance, 614 earned run average. He's thrown 44 innings.
first pitch. Matt Kemp in center waiting. So the Rockies leave them loaded. Second time in the ball game they've left them loaded. We'll go to the 8th. Still a 2-run ball game. Running out of time. Down their final 6 outs. Dodgers coming up, and they'll face a new pitcher we'll tell you about in a moment. But first, our Breaks Plus take a break. Poll of the game. Who'd you like to see win the West, the Padres or the Giants? 71% say the Padres. I think they're influenced a little bit about the recent little stink made by the Giants and the Humidor. I like Bruce Bochy. I like Bud Black. Padres have had a great season. They have overachieved in many people's eyes. Matt Kemp to face Egmer Escalona.
Yeah, Escalona, a hard-throwing right-hander, just because it tends to get wild at times. And, of course, everybody kind of remembered the boo-boo he made here where he didn't cover first base. And this will be his first appearance back on the mound since that time.
Rockies have 33,000 in the house, more than that actually, 33,000 and change, and that brings the season total to 2,875,243 fans have passed through the turnstiles this year. That's the best home attendance in 8 years. Well done. This ball on the line to Dexter Fowler in center. 1 out. Thank you very much. There were a lot of thrills this year. A lot of thrills here at 20th and Blake. Looks like summertime out there, doesn't it?
Beautiful. Gorgeous, gorgeous baseball weather for the last 3 or 4 days here in this homestand. Very good crowds, 40,000 the first couple of nights against the Giants. Good crowd on Sunday.
Russ Mitchell with a 1-strike count. Chatsim got the start, went 5 innings, gave up all 7 runs. Only 2 were earned, though. 4 hits, walked 3, struck out 7. Did hit a batter. Manny Del Carmen pitched a scoreless inning, allowed a hit, struck a man out. Franklin Morales a 1-2-3 inning with a strikeout. Now Escalona with 1 out and a 2-1 count on Russ Mitchell. He's talking about guys getting 500 at bats, and usually, you know, you're going to have hopefully 5 guys, maybe even 6 everyday guys that, barring injury, they're out there and they know where they're hitting in the lineup. Base hit to right. The Dodgers, mentioned the Rockies, have 1 guy with 500 or more at bats. That's all they're going to have, and that's Cargo. Tulowitzki, because of the injury, is going to fall short. Well short, in fact. And then Dexter Fowler, a little more than 400. The Dodgers have 5 guys that'll have more than 500 at bats this year, to the point I was making.
A lot of injuries, a lot of time off.
Matt Kemp talking about driving that top hand of the baseball. He's one of the guys, naturally, that has well over 500 bats for LA. Reed Johnson at the plate, 1 for 3. Here's Joe Torre. Joe will retire at the end of the weekend, at least for now. See where he ends up. If he's in a front office capacity, he'll stay in baseball in some regard, or if he shows up as a manager again. Wouldn't dismiss that altogether. Joe is 70. He's going to take some time off, chatting with him before the ball game. He and his wife and his daughter, who's 14. Get a little beach time.
His daughter, pretty good softball player. She's right in the middle of the fall softball season in the Los Angeles area right now.
Yeah. Good man coming in. 2,323 victories, 5th all time. And he also threw out 2,342 hits as a player. That's pretty good. He will be in the Hall of Fame one day for those combined achievements. Joe is a really decent man, a good man.
He's fair to the players. I think that's the biggest thing. He's been very fair to the players and what they needed to do to win a lot of baseball games in LA.
Ground ball slowly hit to short. Tulowitzki will go to first. And he'll get Reed Johnson.
Charging the baseball. I saw Johnny Herrera make the move over to second base, but he made a very smart decision. Wasn't hit hard enough, so when he looked over, not going to get him. Went ahead and went on to first base and allowed Mitchell to get to second. He had a pretty good jump on the baseball.
A.J. Ellis at the plate with a runner in scoring position. Ellis 1 for 3, had an infield hit to deep short his last time up. Ellis out of Austin P University. This should get Escalona out of the inning. Herrera throws out Ellis. Well done by Edgar Escalona. 7-5 our score. We go to the bottom of the 8th at Coors Field. Rocky Mountain. And Saturday, the Georgia Bulldogs out of the SEC will be taking on the Colorado Golden Buffaloes. That'll be fun. 5 p.m. Don't miss the showdown. Right here on FSN. Hey, today's game summary is brought to you by Ecotech Institute in Denver, where you can make the world your workplace. Dodgers got 5 unearned runs in the 3rd inning. Matt Kemp's grand slam, the highlight of that 3rd inning. They added a solo run in the 4th and the 5th. Rockies chipped away at 7-5 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Troy Tulowitzki has 4 hits in the game. Miguel Olivo will lead things off. Then Chris Nelson. Matt Daly is throwing down in the Rockies bullpen. And Hum Chi Kuo is in the game here in the 8th inning. Georgia, is Joe Torre going to ask him this late in the year in a game that, honestly doesn't mean a lot to get 6 outs?
Well, apparently he is. He's pitched in 53 games, 57 innings. He got the save the other night. I'm trying to see if he can come in. He got a 4-out save the other night. See if he can come in and do it here again against the Rockies to pitch the 8th and 9th with the Dodgers leading 7-5.
Unless he plans on going to Belisario in the 9th. Belisario got the win yesterday, 2/3 of an inning. Didn't pitch on Monday. All we can do is wait and see. 2-1. Tell you what, big thank yous again to our crew who do such a fabulous job all year inside the truck and around the ballpark. And also, you and I, as this ball's in the air down the right field line, Wynn's got it, and now it's going to catch it. Look out, Ryan Theriot almost into the front row. I know you and I wanted to, and Jeff Houston want to thank a lot of the folks we see on a regular basis, a lot of the ushers that we see every single day, and Ann and Becky right outside our door. They take great care of us, do such a marvelous job downstairs by the dining room, the media dining room. Marilyn and Judy and Julie, Bob over there, just terrific folks that make our life so much easier because they always have a smile on their face.
They do have that
every single day.
Yep, happy to be here. Bill down at the doorway at the Rockies locker rooms there every single afternoon at 1:30. Come walking in. Says hi to everybody.
Yeah, Bill and Barb down there. Steve on the back door. Big thank you to all of the wonderful security folks, ushers here at Coors Field. I know when you come out to the ballpark as fans, they make your experience a pleasant one. 1 out. Chris Nelson steps up. Second at bat for Chris. He's coming in a double switch. He grounded to first in the 6th inning. Atlanta out in front of Florida 4-0 in the 4th inning. Later on tonight, it's the Padres and Cubs again. Cubs may be playing their best baseball all year.
20-13.
Mike Quad.
20-13 under him. Yeah, hard times now to pick up the baseball. All the shadows starting to set over the field, so it's hard to pick up. You see the ball, you just not whether you see slider or fastball or curveball, fastball. Makes it very difficult on the hitters.
For Atlanta, Brooks Conrad hit a home run in that ball game. He's going to be playing a lot with Martin Prado down for the season. The 2 best hitters for the Braves are out now. Chipper, and he's been down for a bit. Prado going down the other day.
Struggling too is Jason Hayward.
And he has struggled in September. A lot of pressure on Brian McCann in the middle of that lineup. And also the recently acquired Derek Lee, and he's battling back issues. 2 outs. That'll bring up Fowler. Still don't know who's going to win the American League East. We know Tampa and the Yankees are both in. The Yankees are in Toronto tonight, and Tampa hosts Baltimore. Everybody's dried off from their celebration last night at the Trop.
Texas beat Seattle today 6-5.
Giants and Diamondbacks tonight. Giants have a 2-game lead on San Diego. And there's a base hit for Fowler. That'll bring the tying run up. Jonathan Herrera has a single in each of his last 2 at-bats. If the Giants, George, were to win and the Padres to lose today, it would force the Padres to sweep the Giants in San Francisco over the weekend just to earn a tie in the division. Huge ball games tonight in San Diego and San Francisco.
Madison Bumgarner will be on the hill for San Francisco.
San Diego will have Chris Young throwing against Randy Wells. Chris Young hadn't done a whole lot of pitching the last 2 years.
Well, he's pitched well, though. Had on average right at 090 prior to his last start.
Actually, George, it's now Lincecum. They've moved Lincecum up
to Friday.
No, yeah, he's pitching tonight.
Oh, okay.
He's pitching tonight. They did that in case there was a play-in game, a game 163, as the Rockies partook in 07, then Lincecum could throw that. 1-1 on Herrera. Daly on the right side. Rafael Betancourt on the right side.
The last couple of days, Daly's gotten up, hadn't gotten into a ball game because the Rockies scored a few runs. Jim Tracy, when it got close, went the other route. Today, Daly hoping to get a shot to come in with the Rockies down 2. If it gets closer, it'll be Betancourt.
Talk about not being able to see the baseball. Looked like Johnny didn't see that.
Talked about at the start of the inning, you start to mess around with these shadows. It makes it very difficult.
Just missed. 2-2. Dodgers up 7-5. Rockies have won just 1 of 5 ball games on this final homestand of the year. Lost 2 of 3 to the Giants. Lost the first 2 in this series to LA. 8th inning.
Fastball in their half, trying to prevent, letting him extend those arms. He went in, did not get a call to strike. A 3-2 count. Dexter will be off with the pitch.
Three and 2 on Herrera. Fouled off. Fouled off again.
Good at bat. Early extension. 21 pitches thrown now. And you mentioned earlier about Belisario. He's down throwing in their bullpen now, if I'm not mistaken. Seen the right-hander down there tossing.
I just think that Joe just flip-flopped the two. There's no way he was going to. I just can't imagine him asking Quota to get 6 outs.
Well, he's done it 6 other times this year.
But not now. Not in this game. It just wouldn't make sense. Especially all the arm injuries the kids had. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Barry Darling calls out Herrera. And Quo leaves Fowler at first. We'll go to the 9th, 7-5 LA. Top of the 9th inning. A post-game show will follow as always right here on FSN. With some of the particulars, there's Tom Helmer in the shadows.
Yeah, well, it's the sun's beaming out here. It's a beautiful day. I don't know if we've seen the cloud in weeks out here, but just swing. Yolis Chassin setting the rookie record for strikeouts. We'll talk about him. Also, Mr. September, Troy Tulowitzki, who's had a phenomenal month. And also, Mark Stout will have some on-field interviews as the players make their way around the stadium for one final lap before they head off to St. Louis. It's all coming up on the Rockies post-game report. Drew?
All right, Tom, thank you. We will look forward to that. Matt Daly will pitch the 9th inning. Matt's battled some shoulder issues throughout the year and hasn't pitched much in the second half. Most of those appearances came in the first half, so Matt will face Chin Lung Hu to begin. For Daly, just his second appearance since June 10th, and his last appearance was September 10th against Arizona. Pitched 2/3 of an inning, gave up a couple of runs on 3 hits. And he misses there, ball 1. Hu a double, a sac fly, and another fly ball to center field. So he's 1 for 2. First RBI of the year on that sac fly.
See what you're looking for Daly right now. Is the shoulder healthy? Is the velocity back? Last year it was 89-92. That last fastball 89. All about location, down in the zone with that heavy sink.
Ain't 18th home season coming to a close today for the Rockies. 16th home season here in lower downtown Denver. That ball's popped up right side. Helton in foul ground. Makes the catch. Check in again with Mark Stout. Mark, how you doing?
Doing well, guys. I got a chance to ask Matt Daly before the game, what are your plans for the offseason? And the Long Island guy staying in Denver this year, he told me for prehab so he can be ready for spring training. He wants to do everything under the guise of the team. So he'll be here in Denver for the first time ever. I said, look, you're from the East Coast. You're going to love the winters here, so he's looking forward to it. Another guy, Michael Mckenry, the catcher, for the first time since he's been drafted, not going to play any type of winter ball, instructional league, fall ball. He was at the Dominican last year. He's going to relax a little bit, but I said, how many days will you take off before you get into conditioning again? And he said, 0. I'm going to Padron Speed and Strength in Knoxville, Tennessee, where Todd Helton used to work out back in the day. And by next Wednesday, he'll continue conditioning, just not going to throw and squat as much since he's been catching so much. So an update on those two guys.
Hey, nice play by Herrera as he throws out Andre Ethier. Steals a hit from Ethier, the pinch hitter. Mark, thanks for that update on a couple of Rockies and their all-season plans. 2 gone. And that'll bring up Trent Olchin.
Well, all you're doing here is just you're going to try to dive and hope you knock the ball down. If you happen to catch it, great. Then you can make the play at first base. And that's exactly what Jonathan Herrera did. Hit that ground fairly hard. And from the knees and about 75 feet, a strike to Todd Helton.
Olchin has walked again, was hit by a pitch, and he struck out. Inside ball 1 on Trent Olchin. There's our in-game box score. Nobody with a multiple hit game for LA. Rockies have out-hit the Dodgers 10-6, but they trail by a couple of runs. And in the bottom of the 9th inning, it'll be Carlos Gonzalez, Troy Tulowitzki, Todd Helton. Outside, 2-1. Well, last year, Matt Daly, last winter, spent the off season in Manhattan. Asked him where he worked at. He grabbed a buddy, find a park, and go play catch and long toss in the village somewhere. I believe he lived in the village.
It didn't take long to do that, though, because that long toss got shortened up pretty quick when all the snowfall started to hit in 20 degrees. It was a little tough play at that.
Two. 3-2. Something about Trent Olchin and walks today. That's his 3rd. I'm going to bring up Ryan Theriot. Rockies pitchers have walked 4 and hit a batter today. Olchin has 3 of the 4 walks, and he was the guy who got plunked.
On base percentage is going up.
Yeah. Ball 1 on Theriot. 0 for 4. Did reach on an error by Stewart in the 3rd. That kept that inning alive. Otherwise, no runs would have scored. Loney followed with a bases loaded walk against Chacin. And then the next hitter, Matt Kemp, hit a grand slam against Chacin. To right field, and scoreboard traffic. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Rockies looking to rally. They trail 7-5 to the Dodgers. They'll start with Carlos Gonzalez. That is always a good place to start. And Ronald Belisario will be looking for the save. So Belisario is aboard. He got the win in last night's ball game. Pitched 2/3 of an inning and a 9-7 victory for the Dodgers. 58th appearance. He's had 3 save opportunities. He's converted only 1 of them. Rockies last year went 4-14 against LA. They're losing this year's season series. Again, throughout the years, they have struggled with LA more than any other team. 7-10 right now this year.
Belisario trying to get his 2nd save of the season. Cole with 11, Broxton with 22.
Cargo hard hit ball and able to recover is Terrio. And Gonzalez is 0 for 5, 1 out. That'll bring up the guy who's had a perfect afternoon, Troy Tulowitzki, 4 for 4. Inside ball 1. Troy, a triple, a single, a single, a single. He has scored 3 runs. Moved the average to 320 with the 4 for 4 outing. 2-0. Helton on deck. Last time the Rockies won the season series against the Dodgers was 2007 when they went 12-6 against LA. Only 2 times this decade, 07 and 05 when they went 11-8.
3-0, and again, a chance to get help to the plate, and hopefully with the tying run.
In fact, they've won the season series against LA just 4 times, including first year in '93, 7-6. 3-0. Ball 4, so Belisario walks Tulowitzki. And here comes Helton. John hit a 2-run home run yesterday. Today a sac fly, 2 walks and a strikeout. Rally tie. And A.J. Ellis is going to have to go out and play pitching coach. Something about those final 3 outs. They're never easy.
Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of times you put so much focus into that first one, then you come in and you don't start throwing strikes. So as a catcher, you go out and you get after them a little bit. Anytime you got a 2-run lead here, what are you doing? Why do you want to fall behind? You can't win it by walking people. Let's get after it, those strikes, put your defense into play. Fastest way to get yourself out of the big leagues as a pitcher is start walking people and falling behind constantly. It just takes everything out of the rhythm of the game.
2-0 is in there.
As a manager, it drives you nuts.
And Helton drives a base hit to right. Tulowitzki to second. Here comes Ryan Spilborghs with 1 out. Go hit one in the seats, Rhino. Make this game real special. Helton will depart. And Jay Payton will run for him. This ball line to left, a base hit. Tulowitzki stopped at third, and now the tying run at second base at Peyton. Bases loaded again. And Seth Smith will pinch hit. This is the pitcher spot. How about Spilborghs? 3 hits and a walk in 4 trips.
He's had a great September so far. You see the pinch hitting this season, quite a contrast to what Smitty did a year ago. 171, but his power numbers, 2 home runs, 11 RBIs, 11 strikeouts. Belisario is trying to get his second save of the season. He's making it hard on himself, and the Rockies are making it harder.
And Smith tops it over the mound, not hit very hard. A run scores. They get the out at first, 2 gone. It's a 1-run game. Peyton to third. And Spilborghs to second. And that'll bring up Miguel Olivo. Base hit could win it for the Rockies. Here's the pitch, and it misses ball 1. Miguel Olivo in his first at bat of the ball game hit a shot to left over the wall. First home run since July 31st. 14th of the year. Here's the 1-0. Big swing and a miss. 1-1. 7-6 ball game.
Hard sinker, 96 miles an hour, right underneath the hands of Olivo. Hard pitch to do anything with because of that biting action. So that hard action coming in underneath the hands.
Line drive, caught. And the Dodgers will win it 7-6 on the final day of the home schedule in 2010. The Rockies rally in the 9th, but it's going to fall a run short as Miguel Olivo lines out. Dodgers win at 7-6. They sweep the series. The Rockies just a 1-5 final homestand. Today's delivery of the game is brought to you by Jimmy John's. Troy Tulowitzki went 4 for 4 and had a walk in his final Coors Field appearance in 2010, including a sun-drenched triple early in the ball game. Tulowitzki improves his average to .320 with 4 ball games left in St. Louis. Dodgers win it this day 7-6. The Rockies finish with 52 wins at home at Coors Field in 2010. And Joe Torre is walking over, and he wanted to shake hands with Troy Tulowitzki and wish him well. It's a classy move by Joe Torre. 70-year-old skipper will be moving on. There's Bob Schaefer as well. 2 rivals. Good sportsmanship. Stick around. Post-game report is next.